right. Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Award, a podcast by Visions. I'm Danny, and today I'm here with one of our amazing multi-line reps, Sean Kurtzman. How are you today, Sean?
I'm great. Really excited to make my podcasting debut. This is awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Sean, I understand that you've been in the promo industry for a while now. Can you tell me a little bit about your story?
Yeah, interesting. Have a degree in teaching. I was working in special education classrooms and running travel camps as a director of a travel camp in the summer, and got introduced to the industry by Midnight Snacks, and like what is that? Probably 12 years ago now, and haven't looked back.
That's awesome. How long have you been a multi-line rep with Visions?
January will be 4 years that I'll be with JSA.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Um, so what is like one of your favorite things about the promo world, especially relating to like the awards and recognition category? How do you think that plays such a big part?
So for the first question about the promo world, it's just all the people in it. It's an incredible industry, kind of small niche, but everyone in the industry, whether it's supplier, distributor, has been awesome to work with. And that's one of the cool things about being a multi-line is getting to be able to work with a few different suppliers, not just only Visions, but you guys are also fantastic.
Awards, I feel like is such a niche category in the promo industry. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience with awards specifically?
Yeah, so awards is a fun category. I think so, but a lot of times in the industry, it can kind of get a bad rap. People think of it as like only plaques or only kind of acrylic awards that kind of would be in like your parents' basement. But with Visions and what we do best is kind of come up with really cool and creative concepts. So that for me is always fun going into meetings and bringing up awards and showing all the different techniques and capabilities that we have to really make it fun, different, and custom.
Absolutely. I think awards have such a unique ability to impact people. And like you said, the uniqueness of doing custom awards, creative awards, can really like play into that touching somebody in their industry.
Yeah, and once people see that we could do perpetual awards or that you could put a magnet or a little disc that will slide in and make it an ongoing order, then they really start to perk up and you really start to get those ideas going. So that I think Vision does an incredible job with that.
Of all of Vision's awards, you touched on a couple different categories there, like perpetual, interactive. Would you say that's your favorite style of award, or kind of explain your thought process of which awards benefit which types of situations?
Yeah, so I guess it depends on the customer. For me, I always love showing the MVP. You could do so many different designs with just the shirt alone, having it be
Yeah,
a pair of scrubs or a safety vest, doctor's lab coat, polo, sweatshirt. But being that you could change the shape of it, make it any shape you want, and add on those custom magnetic pieces. For me, I love doing that because it keeps the award going. It's not just a one-time piece. You get the award, and then you can just keep adding those magnetic pieces whether it's years of service or whatever it might be. I love it as even a new hire gift. Mentioning that you could put the individual's name and the company logo, and then it's used as a cool motivator. And then you can, a sales rep can come over, put a magnetic piece on each individual's MVP, and then it's a really cool motivator and recognition gift.
that's awesome. I love hearing the different types of ways that people use awards for different situations. Like I've only been in the industry for a couple of years,
Yeah.
so I'm still getting my feet wet in a lot of ways. But I love hearing like the stories of how different people use our awards to make those impacts in their companies. Sean, when it comes to recognition, how do you think recognition impacts the corporate world? How do you think it impacts companies and their culture?
I think it makes a huge difference to me, and I think for most people, there's no better feeling of doing a really good job on something and then getting recognized for that achievement. So getting an award or getting a little magnetic piece to put on your MVP is really means a lot, and keeps people wanting to stay where they are. They feel valued, they feel recognized. So I think it's a really big, it's super important.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm also a coach in my outside my work life. And so seeing like coaching kids is, I feel like, certainly similar to coaching your employees, your teammates, in the corporate sense too, of you want to encourage them to set goals and to accomplish them, and seeing those rewards through a recognition piece, or like you said, like the magnets on your MVP or something like that, gives you that tangible thing to connect with those accomplishments.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Absolutely.
So, Sean, you mentioned that your favorite Visions Award is the MVP, the customization ability of it. Can you give me your best sales pitch to your dream client of the MVP?
So for me, it'd have to be the New York Mets. Living in New York, I love the Mets. I've mentioned this to different distributors in the past, but I think it would be a perfect gift for season ticket holders. You could do the MVP in the shape of a jersey. You could put, my last name Kurtzman on the back of the jersey, the year of the ticket sales, so 25 or whatever. And then you could have those magnetic pieces be delivered throughout the season. So if they won a certain number of games, or they clinched the wild card, or hopefully won the World Series, fingers crossed. I don't know. But just being able to add those custom pieces as the season goes on, another way to keep those customers and people engaged throughout the season. And it can be for any sport.
Yeah.
You could do it for football, and have magnetic footballs, or soccer, or whatever. I always thought that was a really cool idea, and hopefully it'll work.
No, I love that. I think that sounds like such a cool idea. I'm also a big baseball fan, so go Reds.
Okay, you got our number this year.
But yeah, I think that would be so cool as someone who's a sports fan and loves that kind of interactive piece. That would be really cool. And what would you say is one of the most vital pieces of information, advice that you could give distributors when it comes to selling awards and recognition?
Easy. It's not just a one-off order. There's tons of award programs. It's that repetition. It gives you a reason to keep going back to your customers and letting them know about all these different recognition programs that we have to offer. You could do it based on sales achievements. You could do it based on years of service. So there's a ton of different options for you as a distributor to go back to your
Yeah,
customer with.
that's awesome. Yeah, awards, they are so ongoing. There's always goals to be set, goals that are being achieved,
Absolutely.
and we want to recognize those for what they are, because that impacts your company culture so much. And I love like getting to see like kind of this next generation come into the workforce and like be excited, and you want to reward their excitement so that company culture keeps growing.
Yep, love that.
What kind of trends do you see going into 2026, or what trends would you like to see in awards and recognition in 2026?
Oh, I think sticking with those perpetual awards is really important. I think, as much as we love doing the awards, I think getting a new award every single year is kind of come and gone. It's still a cool program if you can get that. But I think having those perpetual pieces where you get one award and then you could just add on magnetic pieces or little slide-in discs, I think those are huge, especially with the culture that we are in right now, with people in office some days, home other
Yep.
days. This way they have their piece. They can keep it at home, or they can keep it at their office. But I think sticking with that trend, and creating some more pieces in that kind of timeline, in that kind of origin, I think that'd be good.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think, and the fact that they're like interactive, they're fun, kind of bringing that playfulness into your company culture a little bit, has an impact too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
All right, Sean. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. It's been a pleasure. Um, for everyone watching, like, subscribe, and leave your comments of what you want to hear next time. And we'll see you next month.
Thanks for having me.